Never agree to an experimental treatment, especially if it's free. I suffered from insomnia, and a clinic offered me a chip that regulates sleep cycles. It worked. I started sleeping again, but then I started seeing their dreams. For me, insomnia wasn't just a condition. It was a prison of silent, dark hours. So when a sleek private clinic offered me a spot in a clinical trial for a new experimental treatment, I agreed without hesitation. The procedure was painless. A tiny chip implanted behind my ear. That night, for the first time in years, I slept deeply. But the dreams weren't mine. I dreamt of knitting with old wrinkled hands I didn't recognize. Another night I felt the terror of a soldier in a trench, the mud and rain on a face that wasn't mine. I was living fragments of other people's lives. At first it was fascinating, but then the nightmares started. Dark, endless corridors, faceless figures, a constant feeling of being hunted. I decided to get the chip removed. I went back to the clinic, but the building was empty. A "for lease" sign was on the window. The company had vanished. Panic set in. The nightmares began to bleed into my waking life. I'd see a face from a dream on a passing bus. I was losing my mind. On a desperate online forum, I found another patient. She told me the horrifying truth. The chip didn't create sleep. It connected us all together in a shared network, a collective dreamscape. But there was a host. Patient 0. A man who's been in a coma for 20 years, trapped in a single, unending nightmare. And his nightmare was so powerful, it was slowly overwriting ours. That night I went to sleep determined to fight. I found myself in the worst nightmare yet, a decaying hospital hallway that stretched into infinity. I ran, a shambling, distorted figure shuffling behind me. I felt a sharp, real pain in my side, and I screamed, forcing myself awake. But I didn't wake up in my bed. I was still in the hallway. The pain in my side was still there. The host's nightmare had become my reality. And just then I realized I can't wake up anymore.